We'll give updates on special needs and other health-related issues for our press conference today. Followed by that will be our Fire Chief James Fitzgerald. We will begin with our Mayor, Jerry L. Demings. Mayor?
All right, thank you, Dr. Williamson. Let me start by just acknowledging some of the challenges that our friends in the Bahamas are enduring. Our thoughts and prayers go out to that community, as many of the Bahamian nationals are here within this community. And so we know that as they recover from this storm, we will certainly look to working with the appropriate authorities to provide whatever assistance that we can. In terms of our community, I also want to acknowledge that this is really the 5th day that we have been on hurricane watch, and I realize that many of our residents are beginning to experience some fatigue, some emotional impact from the storm itself. But what I say to them is just be patient. We have perhaps another 24 hours or so left, and this storm should have moved past us at this point. With the recent tracks that we have been monitoring, if there's any good news, the most recent news is that the storm has been downgraded to a Category 2, which still means that it's a very massive storm that could cause significant damage. And because of that, here in Orange County, we are continuing to monitor and just waiting and watching what would possibly have an impact on us here in this community. If the storm keeps its present track, we will be looking at experiencing winds of likely under 50 miles per hour starting this evening here in Orange County. As we continue with our county preparations, we want to share important reminders to our community. Based on the latest models, this again will perhaps be a 24-hour period of time, and Orange County government remains closed today and tomorrow for the storm. We'll reassess later this evening and make some determination whether or not we're able to open for business on Thursday, but we will come back and certainly notify our community on a timely basis. Today we have more than 400 residents who have checked into our shelters here within Orange County. We have a total of 11 shelters that's open. To put it in perspective, yesterday we had about 150 people in our shelters. Today, 400 plus people are in our shelters. I want to remind people that if you feel that at this time you need to shelter, the best way to do that is to contact us via our 311 line, landline, our cellular phone. I would clarify here also, because of the way the 311 system works, sometimes the cellular calls ping off the closest cellular tower. And if you're on the periphery of the county, it is certainly possible that if you simply dial 311, you may go into a neighboring county. But if you're within Orange County, I would implore you to dial the full number. The full number that gives you direct access to Orange County government is the 407-836-3111 line, 836-3111. And if you know that you're in the interior of the county, just dialing 311 should be sufficient. In terms of links, we are also working with the city and county officials to transport those who are homeless citizens to the designated homeless shelters here within Orange County. All of our garbage and recycling services are suspended for the remainder of today, and we'll be assessing going forward when we can return to our garbage pickup. In order to accommodate residents who wish to dispose of yard waste, including tree trimmings, as well as garbage, the Orange County landfill will be open until 5 p.m. today, September the 3rd, and drop-off is available. Fees for yard waste from homeowners only will be waived. So if you are dropping off yard waste, we will waive those fees if you drop it off at the landfill itself. In terms of the potential for debris removal, we have robust plans in place. We have 40 debris assessment teams who are ready to respond, and that's if we incur the types of winds that will cause damage here within the county. Again, we want to thank all of our members of the public for your patience, but I would say to all of you, now is the time. If you have major hurricane plans, now is the time for you to execute those plans and be certain that you can continue to provide the type of protection for your families. I'm hoping by now that all of our citizens have developed their hurricane plans, and I'm going to bring up our emergency manager, Mr. Keith Koch, to come forward at this time, and he's going to share additional information with you about the potential storm track.
Thank you, Mayor. Orange County remains under a tropical storm warning at this time still, even though that Hurricane Dorian has weakened to 110 miles an hour. That still makes it a Category 2, still makes it a dangerous, potentially dangerous storm for us. The track remains offshore enough that takes us out of the heavy impact for high tropical storm or hurricane winds. We should not see those in the county. Currently, it's 45 miles north of Freeport in the Bahamas. The good news, it has finally started moving about 2 miles per hour toward the northwest. So it's starting to make that turn, and it's projected to start picking up speed as it makes that northerly turn. The onset of tropical storm force winds in Orange County now becomes around 7 p.m. tonight and peaking at about 1 a.m. tomorrow morning, with exiting the county about 9 a.m. Wednesday. That's under the current track and speed of the storm. They could be tropical storm force winds, which is 39 miles per hour or more, with higher gusts. The impacts that we might expect during this storm for the next few hours. Of course, with the wind, we might experience tree limbs blowing down, trees blowing down. They could be affecting power outages, causing lines to be dropped. Debris across roadways. Water damage, we're looking at maybe 2 to 4 inches of rainfall, so not a huge water threat, but enough to cover roadways with dangerous ponding. Very, very low risk of tornadoes with this storm at this point. Safety items, due to the fact that now we're moving into the potential impacts, just calling your attention to some of the safety precautions we need you to take. Use extreme caution when driving, especially after dark, due to the potential for debris across roads. Don't attempt to drive through any standing water. You don't know if the subsurface has been damaged. We want you to be safe, so turn around, don't drown. Any downed wires that you might see could be energized, even though they're not electric wires. They could have come in contact with electric wires. So any downed power lines, any downed telephone lines, anything you see that's down, do not attempt to remove those yourself. Leave the removal and the securing of those lines up to the professional utility workers. Power outages will cause a lot of us to crank up our generators. We want you to use extreme caution when using your generators. Make sure you maintain generator safety. Do not operate them in any enclosed areas, especially not in the house, not in garages, not in enclosed porches. Nowhere near any open window or doors because of the potential for carbon monoxide poisoning. And wait until daylight hours to go out and start trying to do any cleanup of any debris. Wait till it's nice and bright where you can see. We've got time to do that, so please take caution with what the effects the storm is going to have at your location. But the good news is it's finally moving. Another 24 hours or so, we should be through this. Thank you very much. I'm going to call Sheriff Mina up now.
Thanks, Keith, and good morning. Because of the current trap and the latest information, we have decided not to implement a curfew at this time. We would just encourage folks to remain inside and not go outside unless absolutely necessary. I will say that we have additional staffings, lots of deputies out on the streets, so that is all in an effort to deter those who are looking to take advantage of storm conditions. So plenty of deputies out there, plenty of staff. We also have teams on standby, not only for this area, but for other jurisdictions who may be hit harder with the storm than Orange County. And at this time, I'll turn it over to Dr. Martinez from Orange County.
Good morning. Thank you, Sheriff. I just want to remind everybody, going along with the message from the mayor, that the shelters are open. We have 2 special needs shelters open, one at University High School, the other one at Freedom High School. You do not need to pre-register to be able to go to the shelter. You can just go if you feel that you're not safe at home during the storm. Both special needs shelters are pet friendly, so if you have a pet that you're concerned about, that is what's keeping you home, please do not hesitate. Bring the pet with you. If you're planning to attend the shelter, please bring your medicines, any other necessary medical devices that you might have, and the cables that power them is important. Appropriate food if you require special diet, bring that with you. And caregivers are also welcome, always welcome. Special needs shelters are equipped with oxygen, and we can also arrange transportation. If you call 311 or the number the mayor gave us, 407-836-3111, we will make sure we get you to the special needs shelter safely. And now I will turn it over to Orange County Fire Chief James Fitzgerald. Thank you.
Good morning, and thank you for being with us this morning. I want to assure you that the Orange County firefighters and paramedics are well prepared and ready to respond if the need arises. We've spent the last several days in being very proactive. We have visited nearly 100 assisted living facilities within unincorporated Orange County, checking on the residents there, making sure that the plans are in place by those assisted living facilities to take care of any emergencies that may arise. We also understand that there have been a number of assisted living facilities outside of Orange County that have relocated their residents to some of our area hotels, and we are providing medical assistance where needed. Yesterday, men and women from Orange County Fire visited 34 mobile home parks east of 436. That represents nearly 5,500 individual mobile homes. We spoke to the residents there. We provided safety literature on shelters and generator use, and we'll be following back up with those individuals after the storm. We ask that you remain safe, and if you need us, we'll be there for you. Thank you, and I'll turn it back over to the mayor.
Okay, one of the things that the fire chief indicated was that even if Orange County is not directly impacted, you can hear that we are, as a host county, we have individuals who have evacuated from other counties, who some of whom are in our shelters, some are in our hotels here. We know that there are over 1,000 individuals that have been relocated here from assisted living facilities through a network into different hotels here within this county. And so I'm happy to say, really on behalf of all of our county partners, that we are glad to be able to provide that assistance to some of the other coastal counties as they have had to deal more directly with the storm. At this time, if there are any questions that you have, we'll be happy to respond to those questions.
You ever see anything like this before, man?
I have not, and I can tell you as a lifelong resident of Florida, lifelong resident of Orange County, and after 38 years of public service and countless storms, we have not seen a storm quite like this one that has moved at this slow rate of speed, and it's unfortunate for those down in the areas of the Bahamas because it has just set on them for so long now. But again, it appears to be moving and weakening, and that's the better news that we're seeing today.
Have you opened up communication lines with our friends in the other counties that may need our help here in Orange County?
We are essentially in constant communication with the coastal counties and really throughout the state. We're in communication with the State Emergency Operations Center itself, and so it is a collaborative effort throughout the state to make certain that Floridians and our guests are taken care of during this storm season.
Thank you, sir.
Mayor Demings, you're obviously working at full capacity now when it comes to your Emergency Operations Center here. At what point will you make the determination to start to scale back the staff that you have here and start to resume normal operations?
We are very hopeful that tomorrow we'll be able to begin scaling back on the staff, but we're going to ride throughout the storm this evening. Likely this will become a wind phenomenon for our county and not really one with substantial rainfall. But because of the potential for wind damage, we will remain here at the Emergency Operations Center at a level 1 throughout the next 24 to perhaps 30 hours, and then we'll make an assessment probably sometime around this time tomorrow when we can begin to shut down operations.
Mayor, what is the plan, especially for people really ill, the people that are in their house, to be assisted in any way?
Well, part of the thing that the fire chief talked about was that in some high-risk areas, especially in the eastern part of the county, we have been very intentional about going to those homes and knocking on those doors and establishing communications with them in advance. What the fire chief didn't say was that after the storm passes, they'll go back to those same homes to ensure that there were no particular issues with any of our residents in those high-risk areas. Again, the eastern portion of the county here within Orange will likely experience the higher winds as opposed to the western part of the county. But we are already experiencing some of the impact of the weather phenomena here with some of the squalls, the wind, the rain that you're seeing now. It's really part of that larger system, and for the next 24 hours, as we kind of see wind speeds increase, it's going to be related to the path of the storm moving closer to the central part of the state. Okay.
Will we have any updates during the day after this one? And is going to be any information in Spanish as well?
Yes, we'll continue to make adjustments and come back to you with updates. This evening, it is our plan to come back with an update around 7 p.m. And so we'll come back and we'll have the most recent information at that point, and we'll give additional direction to our community at 7 p.m. today. Okay, thank you all very much.
All right, he only took me the demo.
Thank you very much.
I lost count.
How many you done?
It's just a matter of making sure that
Late 5 or 7. Okay. Maybe the southern one, we'll be talking